Aha!
Greetings, Earthlings.
Good morning.
Good morning, or afternoon,
No, morning.
or evening.
Well,
Depends
depends where you are.
where you are when you're watching it. Hello, we are on episode 9.
Yes, very special episode, isn't
Mm,
it?
yes,
Yeah. What's
uh.
that? What's that?
It's just stuff, really. It's just to grab attention. Um,
Are you seeking attention?
yes, always. I'm an attention seeker. Hello, everyone. So we are back today, of course, or tomorrow if you're watching it tomorrow. Or listening to it. Oh, shut up.
That's a Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday. It's our Tuesday.
Symptom syndrome.
Yeah.
Tuesday syndrome.
And I've got a big foot.
That's a personal Sasquatch in the house.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So yeah, someone apparently drew a foot last night, and we thought it was for a psychic ability, but we misheard, and it was for a sidekick.
That was actually quite funny.
Yeah, that was funny. But anyway, so today, what we're talking about, Ange?
Today we're talking about how to improve our self-belief and take action. I
Perfect.
think that's a great topic, isn't
I'll
it?
keep it nice and simple. Got to shoot, so believe in yourself and go and do it.
Okay,
See you later.
see
Keep nice simple. Why overcomplicate it?
No point. But we tend to complicate things.
We do, don't we?
I can even say, myself, I sometimes complicate, my own life. It's just for no reason. It's just because I'm in my head too much. And I think many people do that. It's not like it's only me, but I'm gonna be completely honest that sometimes, there is such a simple solution to the task, but I'm trying to just go big. And I'm just looking for at it, from different angles, and I'm just over analyzing things, becoming more confused. And this is where the problem starts, right?
Wow, that sounds really complicated.
Well, I know, but this is what being woman means, right?
Yeah. So okay, so is there, obviously we all go for a bit of self-doubt, yeah? So can you think of a time where you really doubted something, but you know what, you found some kind of inner strength or inner power podcast, and you did it?
You're terrible. I'll tell you that. Oh, hi, Andrea.
Hi,
Lovely to
Angel.
have you on board today. Thank you very much. We really enjoyed last episode too. There'll be more.
We are
interesting
still
episodes
buzzing.
coming.
I think we might talk about last episode at some point today
Yeah,
as
we
well.
did.
'Cause
We will definitely.
we talked earlier. We had some real massive take-ons. If anyone watching haven't seen it yet, it's on the podcast, on YouTube, it's everywhere basically. It's a multimedia show. But yeah, so where can you think where you may have doubted yourself? Come back to that question, Ange, and like how did you get that belief in yourself, or was it? Do you know what was there? And I took it. Well, I'm kind of answering it for you. That's not right. Hi, Emma. It's Emmeline behind us. She's coming with an extension lead just in case. And Emmeline came up with today's title. Thank you, Emmeline.
Yeah, she definitely helped us to put the title together, which is amazing, So, yes, answering your questions, of course, I had lots of moments of doubt, especially when I'm starting something new. This is the moment when I'm thinking, can I do it? Do I have all of the skills to do it? And I've learned over the time, especially from, I wouldn't say overcoming, but from competing,
Yeah.
that when I had doubt in myself, when I was actually stepping into the action and doing thing that I was scared of, I was proving myself that I can do it, even though it's not familiar, it's new to me.
Yeah.
So I took this experience to whatever I'm approaching now. So sometimes when I feel fear or I'm starting to doubt, I'm asking myself, is it fear or is it excitement? Because we can misread the energy. And actually, for those who have not watched the episode from last week, Sarah spoke about it as well. So if you're interested in finding out more, just watch the episode number 8. But going back to subject today, what I found that I tend to keep my mouth quiet now when I'm working on something new.
Yes.
Because I don't want anyone else add to my worry. And for example, if I am not sure whether it's gonna work out or not, I just keep it quiet. I keep it in cocoon, and I allow myself to fail. Because this is another thing. I had this fear, like, what's gonna happen if I fail? If this is not gonna work out? But then I thought, well, this is the whole point. You're working out whether something's going to work out or not. And fun is trying new things out, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I thought, just I need to become more easy about it and have fun with it, and just stop attaching myself to the outcome.
Oh, Sarah's watching. Hi, Sarah.
Hi,
Sorry.
Sarah.
We were just talking about you in a nice way. We're just still reflecting
We
from last week.
attracted
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's so great to have you here.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Sorry, go on.
You distracted me completely.
I never do that. I don't believe you.
Yeah, sorry. You were terrible. This is just not on.
Yeah, no, but I agree that yeah, I think and that's a good thing to do, because like I guess we said it last week that we get quite influenced when we don't even realize it's happening. And I think that's because I'm aware of my self-doubt, and I know like how I gotta shut up. Shut that little monkey up. It's in my head, running around on a hamster wheel because it thinks it's a hamster.
It does, but monkey, hamster, what else gonna come?
I know.
George
I
will be jealous.
Everything went wrong.
George will be jealous. Good job, George stayed at home. But but seriously, I think it depends on how you look at that, too.
Yeah.
And I think when you start feeling fear, if you're aware of yourself, you will learn that fear is just only a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, which means you're growing, which is, I think, a great thing, right? Because if you are completely confident with everything what you do, it means you are actually staying in your safe space, in your bubble. And in order to actually expand, grow, enjoy your life, have fun, is just to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So fear is just shows
definitely.
you that you're right there.
Yeah. And I get as well, I mean, like when we need self-belief for something, I guess it's a lot because we want to start or enter into something new, whether it be, a new goal or, just something. We want to enter into something new, and we got massive dreams and things that we want to crack on with. So it's natural that fear kicks in. And I think sometimes you just got to think, obviously think ahead. Don't let the big bit overwhelm you. I think I talked about this the other week, but just a little step at a time. You only need to worry about like what's step one. So when you know what it is, that yoink, we're going for this, then bring it back. That's why it's important to work backwards. Think about,
yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Work backwards. What are the little steps I got to get to? Because that last step can be overwhelming, because we haven't done everything we need to get to that bit yet.
We are going forward too
far.
And
too
quickly.
So it's definitely look ahead. I do feel look ahead to what you want, but then okay, well, what's step one? Because step one, it is taking the action, right? And step one can be equally, seem quite big, but it's a lot more manageable than step 158.
Oh, definitely.
Unless you're good at jumping up ladders. Are you? Can you jump up a ladder? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you only need to worry about that first step. That's all that matters, like there and then, is that first step. You don't need to worry about because what if you'll deal with it. That's how I have to work it, is right. I have that big picture and I'm working towards, I love step 158. Me too. As long as no one's cut the ladder wrong, no. But hey, sometimes it's like that as well. Sometimes you it's a little slip down, catch yourself, and then you go back up and you're aware of that little slip. And I think really don't you're not going to fail, and the path may change a little bit, and that's okay as well. And it might be actually, don't want to do this now.
I think,
that's all right.
As you said about those steps, if you can work it backwards, so you're actually minimizing the size of the task, because you break it down into smaller tasks, it's more manageable and is less scary. So, and you have a clarity what you're supposed to do, so you have the first step, second to up to 158th step. But it also, you said that, it takes a little bit of that fear, or the amount of fear away, gives you clarity, gives you guidance. But like you said again about what if you have to take a step back? This is the whole point about living your life. It's not like it's the dead straight. The fun is actually in all of those disturbance, if you can look at it that way, and just laugh at it and have fun with it, you're more likely gonna move forward, and you're gonna be able to achieve this 158th step. It looks like it's a famous step for us now.
Let's check that
Much
number out
faster,
now.
right?
I might see what that number means.
Yeah, you have to check it. Yeah, we have to check it. So I think I'll give you an example. For example, you use sat nav, right? And you want to get from point A to point B. But somewhere on the way to where you want to get, you have some roadworks. What your sat nav does, it actually is recalculating the route and still taking you to your destination. So think about your business and taking those steps. You might be having plan A, right? And let's say you get to the point number or step number 5, and it turns out that this step actually wasn't going to work for you. So you have to find some different way to get to point 6, right? And this is where the fun starts. So you can't look at this step because it doesn't work as a failure, right? Or that it didn't work out, so it destroyed the plan of 158 steps. It just means that you are going to change this element, right, for something different, what will help you to move forward. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I hope it does. My brain went just for a journey right now.
No, if I'd said no, it would have. I would have really put my foot in it.
That's
I'm gonna exhaust that by the end of this session. If you listen on podcasts, I picked up a drawing of a foot.
Yeah, this is like big Sasquatch.
Like, what? What about you, weirdo?
Yeah, this must be size 4, I think. Yeah, with big heel and big toe. Big toe.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we went off again.
Yeah.
So Andrew just put a comment in. Reminds me. Let's put it up on the screen. Reminds me of the plan, do, review, which was how teachers plan their lessons. It's a good approach for the bigger projects. Hey, certainly. So, so Anthony Robbins is the ultimate success formula. So we start with know what you want, basically. Know what you want and know why you want it. And I think that's an important part of your self-belief. So I want this, but why? Because that's so important. And then take action, take massive action. And then, of course, you've got to review it because you want to see where you are, how much you're on track. And if you work backwards, work that plan out, you can see, exactly where you are on that journey. And if it's not working, okay, we just change the approach. And sometimes that approach changes maybe the goal, the outcome a little bit. So I think I've learned now to set really, what do we say with Sarah? Have that, this is my take home from last week.
Be delusional.
Have my delusional dreams and my delusional goals. And people look at me, and we were talking earlier how where we've before we came here, we talked about how we've been delusional, and people were like, "Oh, yeah, you're crazy doing that." That it doesn't fit in with maybe their realm, which is fine, right?
I think also their self-belief, because some people can't see beyond what's visible, right? And for those people who are creating, everything starts from vision, starts from your head. And any type of person, even those who are not believing in the spirituality, they start from the plan. Where the plan starts, it starts in your mind, right? And there's a very famous saying that Bob Proctor said, if you can see it in your head, not Bob Proctor, sorry, I'll go back to it. If you can, but anyway, if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And that was Dr. Dwyer, right? And that's true. Everything starts from the vision. And sometimes, the vision that you have in your head might sound very, very scary and very delusional for some people who just operate in the physical realm. It's hard to. It's easier to create something what is already out there, right? Someone done something, and it's possible. But when you're creating something new, where there is no roadmap to it, you might, appear as someone delusional. Do you remember this guy who was running? What was it, like 1 mile under the certain time?
I can't remember his name, but they made a movie on it, Chariots of Fire.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it was like this time, he achieved, it was unachievable for a human to run this fast. And as soon as he ran this distance and he broke the time, right, there was next people like repeating.
It was like literally quite soon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
From
quite
what I
soon
think. Yeah.
because he showed those people it's
Yeah.
possible to do it
Mhm.
by doing it himself. But he had this vision, which was delusional for everyone else, because he said, I'm going to break this record, right? I'm going to go under, was it 10 seconds or something like that? I don't remember exactly,
Yeah.
but you grasp the concept of the.
I don't think it was
of
a
it.
10-second mile, but that would
Well,
have been pretty
this
cool.
is just no.
Hey,
No,
man,
this is just
you never know.
example.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
to put the number out there.
You got to
And
put the fun in.
he broke this limiting belief, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And there was, because some of the other people did see him achieving it, they start believing it's possible to do it for themselves, so they did. But like I said, they did that because they saw someone else doing it. But when you're creating something with a completely new vision, right, to you, sometimes it's better to keep it quiet. Just quiet, like just is in cocoon.
Yeah.
And do it.
Yeah.
Step by step.
Well, yes and no, because I have trusted people I can talk to about some of my projects.
But that's fine, because you have your delusional circle. That's different.
Yeah. You're one of them.
Delusional circle. I like
I want to fly a unicorn to space. I'll just run it by Ange. And you'll be like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. When we do that? Do you know anywhere we can book that up? He's like, yeah, we're working on it. So yeah, I think, but on the essence of like delusional things, is I know I can say stuff. I'm doing this, and I know who's going to say something negative about it, and that's crazy stuff. And I know, oh, that's cool. Because sometimes it's just nice.
Because especially for those who
damn it, unicorn it's gone. We missed our window.
No, but the rainbow's still there.
It's not there. Emily, I was joking. Emily was
oh gosh, but seriously, it's different, because obviously you are open-minded, and I'm open-minded, and if you surround yourself with, this is another thing, you attract this kind of people to you by being the way you are. So then obviously they're not gonna be trying to destroy your vision. They'll be thinking like, oh, bloody hell, that's good, because they know there's more than just what you can see.
Yeah, and I guess I think we mentioned this earlier about that law of attraction. You do attract in like-minded people, or you attract in the energy you put out, basically.
Oh yeah.
I think, and that's a big thing, and I've learned that even when I've had my not great moments, I've attracted in the not so great energy. That's fine. That's life. When I've had the top moments, I've attracted in the people that get it. And also I think it took a bit of action as well. It's taken a bit. I've had to say, well, I'm going to need to do this now. I need to get on. I need this mentor, or I need this network, or that environment to put myself in. A bit like how we started this collaboration, Adams. It was met up. Okay, we want fancy doing a collaboration. Yeah, what we're doing, don't know, but we'll work it out. That's literally it, wasn't it?
And rule number one, let's have fun.
And rule number one was have fun. Yeah. And then from there, stepping out that comfort zone, because in a way, I guess, like, our comfort zones for that was different. For me, it's about, right, I'm doing this collaboration with someone. I'm not doing it on my own anymore.
Another delusional
person. I think you're more weird than me, and then I think, no, you're not. I'm on one today. What's in the bag anyway?
I just thought about that.
Is it?
Like,
but yeah, sorry. So it was we're always stepping out of that comfort zone, always. And I think when you get used to it, I guess martial arts, you might relate, and I know sometimes I bring it back to that, but it's a big part of my life, and got comfortable with feeling uncomfortable.
Do you remember when I said to you that when you become comfortable with being uncomfortable, when you step back and you're comfortable, you become uncomfortable with comfortable? Riddle. So what I'm saying is, you just understand that this is just part of the process that gets you to where you want to be, and when you are there, you're super satisfied. So for example, when you don't feel those emotions of fear, anticipation, anything like that, and you're not going anywhere, you just don't feel like yourself. It just doesn't feel
right. Because I guess you've trained some, so someone you get into physical activities, right?
Mhm.
And you ache afterwards. And then when you don't, after a while, when you don't do it, it's like you're aching. There you go. Or
I'll take it.
yeah, it's a chemical. I think it's a. I don't know. Whatever. It sound like I knew stuff now. So okay, top tip for improving self belief.
Top tip. Okay. 1 or 2 or 3.
Do one. Let's see if we can do one each. See how many we can get.
For self-belief, I would say look out for those who achieve something what was said is impossible to do. I think reading inspiring stories can help you to believe in yourself. That's what helps me sometimes. That's what I do. I like reading inspiring stories from people getting from point A to point B. And quite often, as you're reading through their story, you'll see that they're going through hell of a just challenging times, and because they have their vision and they have belief in their vision, they're getting there. So they are, for me, it's personally inspiring things. They're very easy, actually. You can access it very easily as well, because there's so
much. Like we've got this source of information at our hands every day.
Internet, right,
on our phones.
So just internet gives you a opportunity to find all sorts of different informations. But you can choose what sort of informations you want to read.
So tip 1 then would be, because Emily's probably going to write these down and put them out in various posts throughout the week on Instagram and Facebook, and LinkedIn when we get that page sorted out. We're just putting it out there, really. And so tip 1 would be, finding people that have done it.
Look for evidence.
Look for evidence. Look for it standing on the shoulder. These could all go out into different tips. So tip 1 would be, find people that are inspiring. Tip
number 2, I would say, go back in your mind and find those challenging moments in your life that you thought you were probably not, maybe not that you're not going to make it, but it was challenging in some way and you did it.
Look back down the mountain.
Yeah.
I like to do that.
So just see how far you've come.
And actually, this is a good time to do it. We're drawn. It's a natural thing. It's a natural process that you're coming into the end of the year. So sometimes, most around about now or next month, I do like to look back down the mountain a little bit and see where I've come. What's different from this time last year, and the positives, of course, all the positives and. You're absolutely right. I think that's a great tip. Look at where you have done it, because easy we can fall into the whole. I don't know whether it's being influenced or we lose a bit of our self-confidence. We pick up a bad habit. We've had the wrong energy around us. Whatever, it's easy for that to happen. So you just got to look back to a time when you didn't have those things, even if that's got, and you definitely got something, unless you were born and you didn't move.
Everybody has something. This is the thing. We are all born different. So we're supposed to be different, So if you have different vision for yourself than anyone else, guess what? That's okay. If you look different than anyone else, guess what? This is perfectly fine, because that's how you meant to be. You meant to be different. You meant to do things your way, and you meant to just appreciate yourself for who you are. We tend to compare ourselves to others, and we think, oh gosh, I can't do this because I'm not so and so, right?
That's not a tip. Right there. Don't compare. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. And someone is like, yes and no, maybe, but I think what I'm saying is, like, if someone is doing it, let's say Elon Musk, like, be inspired by him, the vision he's had, the things that I've been reading about recently and seeing about what he wants to do. So that's doable. And someone's going to argue,
but the question is, did he start big? No, he didn't.
No.
And his belief was, actually growing with every success he had. But nobody talks about his failures. No. And I guarantee you, he had plenty of them. So I think another thing is that we need to realize or be aware of is, like, don't take failure so personally. Okay? It's just the feedback that you're getting that probably need to change your strategy on the way where you're going. That's all it is. So don't attach your worth to failure, because that's
information is what it is.
Yes.
It's information. And everything is information to help you make that value decision on that choice. And just because it, it's times when something didn't work, it maybe it doesn't mean it won't work again. Don't get me wrong, there's a definition of madness. It's doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results. But also it's like, well, why did it look to why it failed? Not it just failed. I'm going to use a different example. Not everyone may not relate to this, but it's just from in the business world. Say, I see people want to do, Facebook advertisement, and they do one, it didn't work for them, didn't get the results they wanted, and then they just stop. Whereas they learned.
That's great.
Thank you, Andrea. Yeah. And if they went and looked at, well, why didn't it work? Why didn't it work? What was the reason behind it?
And what if it didn't work for a reason?
Yeah.
So you could create space for something better.
Exactly.
Have you heard about silver lining? What about that? Sometimes something is not working out, even though you put all your effort into it, right? And it turns out in the long run that it was actually good that it didn't work out. It was actually better for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. Yeah, and sometimes, like, again, it might just be you needed you missed out on an ingredient for that cake.
There we go. Maybe time wasn't perfect. Everything is about time as well, isn't it?
Definitely. Hello.
Hi, Isabel.
So yeah. So what tips we got, Emily?
Work backwards.
Work backwards.
Read inspiring stories. Read evidence that it is possible. Find challenging moment in your life that you went through. Look back down the mountain, and don't compare yourself to anyone else. And don't take failure personally.
Yeah, cool. What else? You got to get yourself around like-minded people. So yeah, like I definitely think great. Read, listen, put a podcast on. Tony Robbins, Inner Power podcast daily. You may only have 9 episodes, but you can break it out.
We have Claire in the house. Hi, beautiful.
Hey,
it's so great to have you here.
But if you can get in some sort of group that is gonna, so for me, I'm in a part of a mastermind, and that was so important to me. And I joined one a few years back. I think it's about 3 years ago. Very empowering for me. Learned an awful lot. It was over in America. That was the only downside. It was getting over there sometimes. Came out of that for a bit, then went to another local with Robin Waite, business coach, and that was powerful. And then more recently, as I've said, I'm now part of the Progressive mastermind network, and for me it's great because I get mindset, I learn about business, I get to set goals, and but I'm also around people at the same level as me. Maybe someone's just starting out, and then there's others that, oh my gosh, they're just doing amazing, wonderful things, helping people, and you're kind of picking up. You get this so much positive energy, and the great thing is that everyone is pretty much like-minded in their own, just doing their own thing with it. So I think being around that is quite key. Finding your tribe. That's the word. Your tribe. And you may have kind of I feel like I've got a few different tribes, but it all, like if I had different circles, and then in the center they would all have the same. They overlap. Yes. They just may not know each other, but they overlap. A lot.
The essence of them is something that overlaps in every circle, isn't it? I have my tribes like that too. I told you about Eileen McCotter. That's my mindset coach. I've been in her inner circle for the last 3 years.
Wow.
And the people she gathered, we are all so different, but yet so similar in so many ways, just like you said.
Is that how you met Ivana?
That's how I met Ivana.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I made lots of wonderful connections with people who are actually having vision.
Yeah.
And like you said, like attract like, but you have to be curious and you have to just look out there for what you're interested in, because that's how it all starts. That's why I said to you about looking for inspiring stories, because it's just like you're connecting the dots, right? And you're seeing how those people are getting to where they got. You're just, a few steps backwards comparing to them, if we were going to compare. But what I also find as one of the gems for me from being part of the group like that is the fact that you learn that even though they appear as like gurus to you, you learn that they are people like everyone else, and they've been through so much. And
you learn off their mistakes, for
yes,
sure, right?
yes. So you see them, just they open themselves up to you, and they talk about their failures, right, and about defeats and everything else, and you learn that from them that the inner strength comes from within, and they could not get from point A to point B if they didn't want to believe in themselves, right? Because sometimes it's like you don't believe in yourself yet, right? But by wanting to believe in yourself, you learn how to do that.
Sorry, Isabel's just put on Instagram. She's just discovered Clubhouse, amazing inspiring rooms. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Clubhouse. I think Spotify do Green Room now. Facebook are testing audio, but I totally agree, because it's like you've got a podcast, but you can actually interact with the speakers that come out on that stage. So if you haven't tried it, I've probably got a load of Clubhouse invites, to be honest. So if let me know, I'll hook you up. But get yourself in there, and you can have that daily. It can be part of your morning routine. There's a great one in the morning. I think it's oh my gosh, now my head's gone. Anyway, look, you create these rooms. These rooms will create up for you, and you can really, like Isabel said, there, it helps us stay focused. And it will, because you're now surrounding yourself. There's like entrepreneurs talking for free. There's high end coach, like even Gary Vaynerchuk was on there. I think he nearly broke the freaking thing. Elon Musk was done something. So you can act for free. You can get to have access, directly to some of these people. But that side, there's so many great people out there can really, you can really learn by. And actually, you mentioned about being in part of this inner circle that you're with, and that's want to ask you, is that how you met Ivana? Because like how all these,
and Isabel, by the way.
Oh, and Isabel. Oh, wow. Like how are these things, like until you take this step. So I mentioned about, what I did a few years back. Yeah. So when I first did a mastermind, it was over in the States. That's what first inspired me to, do you know what? I'm going to start talking about my mindset stuff, not just in my martial arts class anymore. Very big on personal development. That was what I was encouraged to do. So now I'm going to put it out to the world and put it out as a video. Then it became a podcast. Then it evolved to something else. So that's my point of view, right? Me and you had a chat. I can't think when it was, but it was a good few years back. I know we spoke downstairs.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was about, really, but we chatted. I can't remember if we had another chat after that. And then last year, you and Ivana were doing your own live videos. I think you're building up to this event. I thought, oh my God, the energy. So what I'm getting at is that have that belief to take that first step, take action, because you need to get onto the whole power of taking action. So me taking action, believing, right, I can fit in to a mastermind. I took action upon it, and then I took action upon those things I've just mentioned. And then the same for yourself and Ivana, and that you attracted in that energy. You could clearly see that energy. I know she's become a good friend of yours. So that then I'm like watching like you two, the both of you speak on this, that live. I was like, you got to come on mine. Let's have some of that, please. Thank you. So I think you come on. I don't know who interviewed first. So we then did like these two. We've done about 3.
We did, yeah.
We've done about 3 in total. And I think then this year, so we got to chat again and come back. Me and you were on with something with Monica as well. And then it's like these little things. Sometimes you don't know what I'm getting is you don't know where that step's going to take you. And that self-belief that what you're attracting, it's contagious, and you're attracting more and more like-minded people.
Ta-da!
Boink.
Drop mic. But that's true.
I would pull the laptop down, but then we'd close it off.
What I had in my head as you were talking, it's constantly wanting to find out how to become better martial artist, how to become better person, how to become better at business, how to become choose what you want to just put after that. And curiosity, which means if you're asking yourself how to, It means that you want to grow, you want to progress, you want to improve. And then as you're following, your curiosity, you're getting to the answers and you're getting to know people who are doing the same thing. And that's how you end up being part of the circle.
I don't know if I had this saying in Poland, but I'm smiling because social conditioning taught us that curiosity killed the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have that saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Don't listen to it. It's not true.
No. That's limiting belief, actually, right there.
Well, if you're curious to stick your head out of a train as it's moving, don't be curious about things like that. Or, stick my fingers in this plug socket. Don't be curious about things like that. I mean, curious about, finding out more. But
the thing is,
because you can step away, right? Let's say, if I gone to, sorry, Ange, if I gone and joined this mastermind app and
you join this mastermind and what? Bigfoot.
Kick you away
sidekick or psychic,
Is it a psych? It's a psychic foot. Hey, that could be a thing. You can step away.
You can
step out of it. Away. Yeah.
But look, so what happens when you are not curious? You just stay in the same space. Yeah, there we go. You're just existing. And
that noise comes into my head.
Like,
yeah. Did I send it? Okay. All right. Any more tips?
More tips. So how many tips we've given out, Emily?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We already have 10 tips.
Surely we need 11.
Oh, we need 11. Okay.
But we got to stop on 11. Otherwise, we got to get a 22. And time is tick-tocking.
So what would be the tip number 11? That's going to be interesting.
Tip number 11 for self-belief. I'm sure by the time I finish talking, it's either going to pop in our head or someone's going to put a comment and help me out.
There you go. Or you put in the comments, what is your top tip?
What's your tip? Yeah, what is tip number 11?
What is the tip number 11?
Share away.
I'm going to share it on our...
To improve your self-belief, yeah?
Yes. What works for you?
Hey, maybe it's just a bit of an affirmation as well.
Oh, you can always create more information out of it. There was a great tip, which I just discovered recently, which really resonated, so I'm going to share it here. There was this lady who was talking about your limiting beliefs and things that are stopping you from achieving what you want. So you write things that you believe in, that, for example, let's say you want to earn a bigger amount of money, but there's stopping you, there's something stopping you from achieving that. So you ask yourself, okay, so why am I not on higher pay, right? And you say, oh, maybe I don't know enough. Maybe I am not good enough. You can list those things that, you might be having in your mind. You might not be doing this consciously, but if you think about it, some of them will come up to the surface. So what you do then, based on those limiting beliefs, you create opposite statement that is empowering to you. Okay, and you can record yourself saying those things and listen to them before you go to bed and first in the morning. So you're actually engraving this positive statement opposite to what you've been saying yourself. You're engraving this new statement, so it starts playing out and helping you out to achieve what you want to achieve. Believe in yourself more, and let's say start earning more money, like we're talking about this case. So I found this very, very practical, because you might be thinking, okay, I have limiting beliefs in terms of having, or earning more money or attracting more money. This is another topic for another episode. But I'm going to just pick any type of random affirmation just to improve my well-being. So how does that relate in terms of improving your financial well-being? So if you can create something what relates, like I have limiting beliefs about money, I find out what is it exactly that is limiting me, stopping me, and I create affirmation which is the complete, opposite to it, but it relates to it.
I like it. I like it. We've had some comments come in. We can't share the Instagram one. Sorry, Isabel. But Isabel's put, when you're not curious, you die.
Yeah.
And she's put, what helps me is look back and acknowledge what I've done so far, which, we kind of talked about. And actually, that's something I want to bring up again in just a bit. So thank you, Isabel. And I can share Andrea's if my... And then Andrew's put, I am here for a reason. That's what I tell myself when I'm in any situation that helps me reflect. So yeah, and I think you are absolutely right. We're here for a reason, right?
100%.
And you can, and I think you use it to, like how you described there, is really using it to your, oops. Is using it to our upside your head, is using it to your advantage. So make sure, it's making sure that is so empowering. We've been talking for good 40 minutes now. So what I was thinking was that maybe would be good is a little drill we can possibly do, and you might want to add to it, because obviously I haven't told you this. I've just, it's come out of my head really, and probably read my mind anyway. Thank you. I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, it's look back down the mountain. We talked about earlier. Isabel's brought it up again. So look back down the mountain. You can go as far back as you like, but maybe think, what? Where was I this time last year? We were on lockdown this time last year.
Yeah.
Come up on my memories on Facebook. Just someone had just done their last task, before going into lockdown. So we were on lockdown. I was writing a book last year. I was going to write a book. I did write a book. It was like about his little ebook anyway. So look back down the mountain and what have you accomplished for this year? What's positive and healthy now in your life compared to last year? Now, possibly, I hope not. Someone might watch this and think, well, absolutely nothing. But that's okay. Don't see that as a negative. That's it's information. If you want something to change, that you can go ahead and do it. So the whole point is has to be an empowering task, and take 5, 10, that's 15 minutes of your life to write it all down, put it out on a post. You know what? Put it out on a post, all the great things that happen. Even if it's something that's not very nice that's happened, see if you can find the lesson in that, or the positive from there somehow. Does that make sense?
Sometimes have negative connotation.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, someone is giving, or something, or life is giving me a lesson. What? Just change the wording about it. What have you learned from it?
Yes. Yeah. Love it. Yeah. So what you learned from that, and how you're going to be positive about it, because sometimes lessons come from other people, which maybe not so nice. So there's no point putting that energy, pinging it back and forth, because that's how it's always going to be. We all get drawn into that.
We can be. Yeah.
We can be, right? But look at the positives, and then use that for, I feel that's amazing. I think most of us would be absolutely amazed on how much has changed, and some of the things we've had to, even dealing with some, not some particularly nice things sometimes. It's I got through that. That was a tough time. I got through that.
Do you remember one of our previous episodes? I said, just if you can look in the mirror, and just stare in your own eyes and say to yourself, you've been through a lot and you're still standing.
Feeling like a dead kid.
That will help you, I think, acknowledge.
Hashtag Elton John. Sorry.
Help you to acknowledge, how powerful you are. You're still standing, which means you overcome, just whatever was on your way to be here, right? And it could be hardship.
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt. I am stuck on the fact that I'm hoping everyone's singing Elton John, I'm Still Standing now. I hope we somehow put
this is so funny, because when I
really thought you were going to hit me there as well.
No.
It's so funny, man.
I'm gonna kick you with this psychic foot. Psychic foot. Okay, so
sending me subliminal little toe messages.
You're singing this song, and this is completely random. But when I work with my
from us? Never.
When I work with my lovely clients, we have this little routine. It's 15 minutes long, and we do dance. And one of the songs is exactly that song. We're Still Standing. How random is that? I love that.
Psychic foot.
Right. I love that, actually. So I know that was completely random, but we are full of random. So where are you? Sorry, the psychic foot took you out.
Took me out. It's done an EMP to my brain. You list out and look back down the mountain, see what you've achieved, and then use that as, basically the whole purpose is to use it as fuel to improve your self-belief, take it to the next step, take some action, and go and have Make it a great day, a great week,
Great life.
great life, great life. I'm just going to finish it. I'm going to talk about my step granddad.
Ooh.
So very quickly, because unfortunately he passed away last month.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
He was a few weeks away from being 101, so that's a very
Good
good age,
life,
good
yeah.
life, right? And it was just interesting. Went to his funeral last week, so it's just really interesting to hear about his story, and I just always remember him smiling. And he was born during a pandemic, during the Spanish flu. It was a small town in Italy. I think they said there was cholera just rife throughout the village, and tuberculosis, and he just felt he was always lucky because he never got that. So bypassed all that. He had to fight on the front line during the war for Italy. Became a prisoner of war for 2 years. Then met his wife, and unfortunately she passed. She was a lovely lady. A few years back, and yeah, went to work in France. There you go, Emily. Then came over to England. They had 7 children.
7
children, yeah. So, and you'd always see him walking around. If I was out, they lived in Gloucester, so if I guarantee if I went into town, I'd see him walking about. Hello, how you doing? So I just think, like, what a great story. So yeah, some hardships, right? I can't even imagine, having to fight in a war, let alone be a prisoner of war for 2 years, and then come away. And I didn't really know this properly until a few years back. It was mentioned, because I guess it's not things that people talk about. But what I'm getting is, you can choose to make life happy, and you can choose to make, do great things and create the wealth, which for me, I think he died a very wealthy man. Didn't really care what the money was about, but I mean, like, to have that family there, if that makes sense, and to be honored in the way he was honored last Thursday at the celebration of life.
That's a really inspiring story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, there's also worth to mention that we all going through some sort of struggles, and in current times, you see lots of people who are achieving big things, but there's only part of their story that is put out there, and you see them only just like, they are only succeeding, right? That's the only, what they experience, but that's not true. You see part of their life. Everybody is going through some sort of, difficulties sooner or later. And success is from overcoming those things. And I think we have to also talk about the size of the success, because for many people, they might think success is only, having lots of money in your account, having big businesses. For me personally, I think women who are having children and looking after them, as a single mothers, they are heroes. And I think this is also massive success. You have to look at it, because in the end of the day, life can become harder or easier, depends how you look at it, and current times have, there are specific difficulties that we're experiencing right now, isn't it? Comparing to the previous times. But you have to just look at, be more open and think like, okay, so if this person is successful on so many fronts, because I am this non-important person, this is another crazy word I don't like, my successes are not valid, which is not true. Who says the size of success has to equal? It's a very personal thing, and it's about how you read it, what it matters to you, what it means to you. That's how I feel. So you just you stop comparing yourself again, right, against another. This is the huge thing.
Yeah, it will consume people. I've seen it happen. It real consumes them, and they think, oh, this and this that. May not be all that anyway.
No. There was some very wise words I've heard recently. If the money is the only thing you have, you're a very poor person. Because you give the meaning to the money, not money to you, isn't it?
No, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Sidetracked again.
Sidetracked, got real deep, and I guess that we'll have to come back that another time, because
With psychic foot.
it was psychic foot. Thank you, everyone. We will see you, or you will see us,
We just connect.
and you will hear us the next time we do an episode, which live again next Tuesday, 11 a.m. on
Episode number
Facebook
10.
and possibly on YouTube at the same time. But don't forget, you can pick us up. You can get all our episodes on podcasts. You choose, just type in the Inner Power Podcast, search us out. Don't forget, leave us a 5-star review. And if you are listening on Facebook, drop a recommendation in, please. It will really help get what we're talking about out there, because if it's helped you, it's sure to help somebody else. Thank you very much.
It was wonderful to connect with you guys. We're looking forward to connect with you next week. So
Peace.
have a wonderful week.
Love. Adios, amigos and señoritas.
Bye.